Hello, my name is Mordred Viking and I'd like to welcome you to this stream of Europa Universalis 4. This is the multiplayer game of Anbennar and it should be a pretty good one. I believe that we've had a couple of players shuffling around. Did we get a Caruvia in the end? We did not. That's unfortunate. So let's do a quick rundown of who the players are before the first inevitable blue flames appear. So we have got Zale in Boyascavo, the Battle King mercenary people. We've got Atos over here in Ovdal Kanzad, who are annoyingly the same colour as the Phoenix Empire. Then we've got Animated in Arboran over here. We've got Aratos in Drakesguard, which are down here. Then we have got Bjornvar in Conwell, Orange Nation. And we've got Darkfighter in Jaberd, which are the purples. We've got Holy Victor in Chios, which is this. Then we've got Kerberos in Kerberos Pool as the Emperor in Vern. We've got Mindboy down in Neckcliff, down here. We have got Oscar in Marhold, feeling themselves a little bit besieged by all of their nearby nations. We've got Professional Street Mugger, my rival in the SRI, taking the helm of the small country. We've got Rarely up in Bjarnrik. Then we have Rebel Thunder in Jordland. We've got Red Centaur in Adenica. Phoenix Empire is being led by Sir Oakley, which I think had been previously calling Kaiser because he'd called himself Kaiser, but there's another player that also calls themselves Kaiser Wilhelm. So I thought it was Kaiser Wilhelm, but actually it's been Sir Oakley the whole time. He just had a name which was unfortunately shared by another multiplayer player, regular. We've got Smithington in Anbenkost here in the centre of the Dame's Head. We have got Tanya in Oslam Asdir, the Ram Dwarves. And then we've got Torshin in Lorent. And then finally Vikas in Soljasat. I feel like I forgot someone. Maybe not. What was I going to check? Right, Tanya did ask that we take a look at her current ruler. So it's a 444. Mordred the First Whitebeard. Nice. Immortal, long-lived, righteous. And we still have another personality to gain in 7 years. And they are still the young age of 56. So King Mordred, I think, is going to be around for quite a while. Although this does unfortunately mean that Tanya currently has someone who hates cavalry in charge of the cavalry nation. So that's going to end well. D&D is usually great for being on time. Never had a Paradox multiplayer start on time, though. This one's actually been pretty good. Last week, they almost caught me out. The week before that, I think they actually started before I even arrived, because I had other things to do before. And then today, had a shower just before the stream, and I had a couple of really good ideas about my Homebrew setting while I was having the shower. I was like, I've got to write this down before I forget it. And of course, this started in the meantime. Dull! Because, yeah, usually there are all kinds of technical issues to deal with and hot joins coming in, but this group is actually really organised and they're pretty good about like having everyone there on time, except for me. Need a waterproof shower notepad, yeah, apparently. I was actually quite proud of myself, so one of the things I want to do in the Homebrew setting is have a civilised Hobgoblin nation, because I really do feel like the Hobgoblins are so underrepresented in D&D. I think they're one of the most interesting quote-unquote monstrous races. And they are definitely the ones that have like the traits to make them the most likely to be one of the civilized nations, like the elves, the dwarves, the goblins, etc. And huzzah! I had an idea about what their god would be like. Basically, it's the god of martial discipline, and the Hobgoblins' word for life and for duty is the same one. So the other races have kind of adopted it as life duty, like you dedicate your life to a certain cause, while the Hobgoblins dedicate their life to the martial cause. And then the Hobgoblin society is a series of free states, much like ancient Greece, and these states are constantly fighting each other. But the wars are all not for killing. They're like the flower wars that the Aztecs had. So if two city-states go to war, then they'll hire the mercenaries of other city-states who are happy to send mercenaries because they want their own armies to stay in training, but they don't generally kill each other during these. There are obviously casualties if something goes horribly wrong, but they're not to death. Unless the cult of the Hobgoblin god gets involved, in which case that war is then designated a killing war, and all holds are off. And that's because long time ago in the Hobgoblin past, they were invaded by someone, and even though the Hobgoblin armies were bloody excellent because they're so well trained, they'd lost that killing edge. And so they started to lose battle after battle until the cults got involved. So now it's kind of the cult's job to make sure that the Hobgoblin peoples retain that killing edge, even though war is their trade and they kind of need to, you know, be alive to practice that trade. Wait, their god is Marshall. It's actually not a bad name, just Marshall. Might need to borrow that. Quite like that actually, because Marshall and Marshall, as in Marshall is in martial ability, and also Marshall is in Commander Marshall. Fred, thank you very much for the 3-month primary subscription. Very much appreciate that. Thank you. I said the Greek elves. I did not say Eberthil. Who's Eberthil? Ah, Dominic. Dominic is Eberthil. And I did say Vern. Kerberos pool, because I forgot the pool. Feels weird but good signing up for a multiplayer after nearly 6 years of lacking energy to do such things. That's awesome. Cool. My vampire ruler was also called Mordred. Haha, nice. Oh, did I forget Helena as well? How am I just forgetting so many players? Oh no, she's just not here. I think in the past Helena's had connection problems. Because as far as I've heard, she's not given up. I know that Karuvia was gone. I know that we had a new player in Arboran. Both of those happened last week, though. Faceless is no longer in Gnomish Hierarchy, so the Gnomish Hierarchy is going to get divided up between Bjarnrik and Small Country, most likely. And Small Country, who are your new allies? Lorent, Jabert, and Adenica. Who's new from that? Jabert? I think. Not sure. So, is there anything else that we need to look at? I don't think so. I'm actually just going to double check the Discord to see if there is anything about Helena not being on. She's on her way, apparently, so yes, the Wood Elves are coming. Just running late. Is that his name or his rank? Exactly. After those 70-year-long World War I, World War II death wars, I was hoping she would do well. Well, I'm guessing that the AI has been disabled, although actually no. Armies are moving around, so AI is probably just disbanded half of the military. And they're currently at war with Verkal, Conazad, and Argodston. Argodston being... I don't actually know where Argodston are. Oh wait, these guys aren't they? No, that's Osman Asdir. That's Spider Wretch. That's Harris Odom. Because it's the Diamond Dwarves. There they are. Unfortunately, they're a slightly darker shade of white than Began's Expedition. Began's Expedition are Elven too. Spider Wretch, I think, are also Elves. Yep, both of those are actually Elven. So if we switch over to the diplomatic map mode and then go to Kronvar's perspective, we can see that a lot of the tunnel characters, tunnel nations, are actually their vassals, that they don't have the tunnel penalties. And then the other one that they were at war with was Verkal Conazad, which is... I don't know where Verkal Conazad are. How do you spell it? Oh, they just pieced out. But still, I want to know where it is. Kozanad. There they are. Oh, it's this one little guy. Okay. So there you go. Meanwhile, Soldier Sat is completing their conquest of Amalgama and the remnant centaurs. We have a very definite border established between them and the Phoenix Empire, which I think is still going to be one of the really big showdowns. They have not yet colonized these two, trying to keep the buffer state alive, but I am pretty sure that they will be taking it at some point. Meanwhile, it does look like Soldier Sat has completed colonizing most of the uncolonized territories around here. I wonder if they're going to try and go colonial, although it's a long bleeding way and I doubt there's any land left. So probably not. We have the Phoenix Empire pushing into Rahan, and actually one of the large Rahan nations, Avhabohia, is Phoenix Empire vassal, and they have been feeding the vassals to those guys. Phoenix Empire, one of the gold mines just depleted. That's very sad for them. Who are you currently fighting against? You are currently at war with Reuel, Wex, Iriliam, and Maquette. And Adenica is going after Karuvia. Right, Adenica-Karuvia war started right at the end of the previous session. Currently a battle going down between Lucian, Karuvia, Adenica. Adenica heavily outnumbered, doing a huge amount of damage during the shock phases, but taking a lot of damage during the fire phase, which they're probably going to want to try and find a way of mitigating. And I think it's especially bad because they currently have no infantry in the front line whatsoever, so they are taking a bad military combination penalty here. And they're also up against a level 3 character, and they lost the battle. Not going too well there. So who was the general? Probably the 4-6-2-4 Karuvian. So even in the shock phase they were resisting quite a lot because I had those shock pips. Player war. We do indeed have a player war. This is going to be Vern versus somebody. Who are you fighting against, Vern? Moonhaven, Tellum, Sevadir, Eleanor, Nursir, Ebethil. Ebethil? No Jureth, no Tef, Swampland, no Ebethil, Ebethili, Ardania, and Ebethili, Tuckend, and also Lorenka. So are they actually fighting? Because these two have had a border for a really long time, or is this just another of those bloody fake wars? Is this just Ebethil stepping in because they're Defender of the Faith? I suspect this is just Ebethil stepping in because they're Defender of the Faith. Yeah, they are indeed the Defender of Corin. And again, the Defender of Corin does nothing! Which is why that's just such a bad mechanic. Music is a smidge loud. Okay, thank you. Yeah, I was recording some more of the Europa Universalis 4 tutorials, which have been going up on the Paradox Grand Strategy channel on YouTube. And for that I disable all the music so the editor can overlay music on top. It's kind of interesting actually playing the game with no DLC. You can really see how much has changed over time. Barkius coming in with a 12-month resubscription. Thank you very much for the ongoing support there, Barkius. Very much appreciated. 12 months. Nice. Congratulations on earning those golden wings, of course. Anbennar is also in this war. On Vern's side. So he must have just called his allies. Unless Anbennar wants something from this. I don't know. You do have 26k troops moving up to Hancardia, who is at war with Karuvia and Luciand. I don't know where those Anbennar armies are going. Oh, nope, they've turned around. Decided they didn't fancy this. Oh, and we've got an Anbennar army over here as well. I was thinking like 3,000 men. I'm fairly sure that Anbennar can maintain more than 3k. What's the war about? Good question. It is the Anbennar conquest of Dancer's Retreat against Moonhaven. So it's just a war of conquest down here. Which is interesting because that's effectively going to cut Vern in half between Anbennar. Unless they have a deal about who gets Ghislaine. Hey Mordred, watching a YouTube series on this one, feel like you uploaded the wrong episode 17. Oh, for Pete's sake again. I've had all kinds of trouble with the uploads. How do I check this now? Oh, it's the Gnomish Hierarchy game. Ha! Okay. I see what you're saying. I'll just go and delete it again. Bye-bye. That means I need to render it again. God damn it. I had an issue with editing and rendering the World Ablaze Italy game because I'm trying a new file format which just corrupted the whole damn thing. And now apparently I've done the wrong game here as well. It's really confusing because the Gnomish Hierarchy in both games look freaking identical. And it's bright and purple, so it's kind of hard to work out which game is which. Does anyone know if you move your capital to the New World, are you affected by the Treaty of Tortillas? As in, does the Pope hate you when you colonize? Don't know, actually. Don't know. And I'm guessing that this is Helena joining right now. It is indeed. Okay, cool. I'm just going to go and make a note to myself to actually fix this. It's not going to be until tomorrow at this point, unfortunately, so I'll just upload 17 and 18 tomorrow. It's too late in the day. Too busy with other streams. Alright, made a note. Alright, so we've got the Wood Elves in now. Cookdeer. Who's Cookdeer fighting against? Cookdeer's fighting Marhold. Okay, so what's Marhold trying to do here? Marhold's just going up against Cookdeer and Corentar. Who's Corentar? That's Corentar. So this actually feels like a pretty decent war for Marhold to try and grab some territory there in the north. They've seen how aggressive Adenica have been expanding recently. And clearly they've gone, you know what, we should probably do that too, otherwise we're just going to die. 4651 general. Their commanders are at 6652. Damn! Hunban Chance. Good commander. 6652. Yikes. He's not a mage. He'd have more than 6 shock if he was a mage. That's just a normal general. With 12, 17, 18, 19 pips. Wow. What's your army tradition, Marhold? 94. Okay, that would explain quite a large part of that. And you can gain up to... a lot. 17, 18, 19... You get +4 shock. Midnight Command. Oh, they've gone Vampire. Well, that's interesting. I'm trying to work this out. That 17 maximum, that's not including all the modifiers, is it? No, as base. That's going to be 17, 19, 23, 24, 25 would be the maximum. So that general is actually kind of bad for what they can maintain. He's 6 pips lower than what he could have. That's ridiculous. Those Marhold generals are going to be flipping terrifying. Right, let's take a look at your estates. And yes, you are indeed. I wonder how they spread, because we know that they have undergone that taint. We know that these guys have undergone that taint. We know that these guys have undergone that taint. I don't think Adenica has. Although Adenica having the extra shock modifier for their generals would also be flipping terrifying. We could see Adenica Orcish Vampire Knights. Oh, now I really want to see that. Also, how the hell did Kryenvar take all of this so quickly? Whereas Adenika's been struggling for at least 15 minutes longer. Vampires. Vampires everywhere! Truly need the Wood Elves to purge them now. Well, I'm fairly sure that there is going to be another conflict between the Wood Elves and Marhold. The question for Marhold will be... Oh, they got an alliance with Adenika again. Interesting. So these two, I think, have recognised the threat. Vern has made complete reset in the relations of the small country, and now the small country is considered an integral member of the great empire of Vern. Anbennar. Really? Have you become an elector? Small country is once again an elector, voting for Adenika. So they made peace with the Emperor, kind of. I'm gonna laugh so hard if a war between Adenika and Kryenvar breaks out, because neither of them wants to peace out Karuvia. That's why all of their armies are sitting up here guarding the provinces that they've taken, which Adenika undoubtedly really wants. And this was always going to be the danger. Like, Karuvia, as soon as it lost its player, this was just going to be free real estate, and I said it's going to be primarily for the elves. Adenika was way too slow in attacking it. They only attacked Karuvia right at the end of the previous session. And Karuvia effectively had an entire session of just existing. So we shall see what happens because of this. So Adenika right now, no manpower. Oh, that's dangerous. Against Kryenvar's 250,000. Marhold only got 67,000. Adenika's playing a dangerous game here. They also have no professionalism. If they go to war with somebody significant, they're just dead. They'll have to rely on mercenaries, and Adenika does not do good mercenaries. Well, Adenika's allied to Small Country, and Small Country will almost certainly foot the bill. But having just no manpower of their own is very, very bad. Like, what they should have done during this war is used mercenaries to do the sieges while their main armies regain manpower. Because that's freaking dangerous. Like, we know how deep Kryenvar's pockets can be. And Kryenvar's been drilling. That's 7 slackenings right there. 7 70,000s. How much of Karuvia's land do the elves need for missions? I'm not even sure if they need any of them. Craft the Mayri Scepter. Oh, not implemented. Because I think they've actually finished their mission tree, which is why they've started to attack the tunnels. Yeah, I think that's what Under the Canopy is. So Kryenvar at this point can just go wherever they like. Hello from Canada. Hello to you in Canada. Imagine vampire trolls. Meanwhile, the Abathil fake war seems to have ended again. Leponda Dragon, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome to the channel. And Fred coming in with a 33-month primary subscription. Thank you very much for the ongoing support there, Fred. Very much appreciate that. And Apple and Left Eye Gang, thank you very much for the follows. Welcome to the channel, coming in just before this session started. I actually got a bunch of follows overnight last night. It's nice when your channel just continues to grow even if you're offline. So welcome to all the new people. How are you all doing? Hope you're having an excellent day so far. Happy Saturday, happy weekend. Alright, so we've got Bjarnrik going after the Gnomish hierarchy. How long is the truce between them and the small country. That's another 4 years. So I do kind of suspect that Bjornrik's going to be the main benefactor of Gnomish Hierarchy's demise. Now here's another thing. Adenika's already getting call for peace. Yep, there it is. 0.1. So the longer they sit here not piecing out, the more the war exhaustion goes up, the more the rebels start to tick up, the less manpower they'll generate. And they currently gain 1,100 manpower a month, whereas Kryenvar gains 3,000. Like, we know that Adenika can dish out the damage. I'm just really worried that they do not have enough in the tank to withstand an attack. And while Marhold is doing the right thing and trying to expand at the moment, they need to be careful with how much attrition they take doing it. Although at the moment they are staying under the supply limits, so they should be alright. For their current ambitions, anyway. Meanwhile, Nomatoba is being taken over by Bjornrik as well. Macho wants me to drink some tea. I think that can be arranged. Can the devs fix how Defender of the Faith works so it isn't abused so much? I don't know. I know that Defender of the Faith has had several iterations. I think it... I mean, yes. Defender of the Faith should have a minimum... Oh, what's it called? Participation score. To retain Defender of the Faith in any war that they do answer a call to. Whether there's the mechanics within the game to allow you to pin something to participation, I don't know. Like in Crusader Kings 3, yes, that exists. I don't know of any other mechanic that uses that in EU4, though. And I know with at least the upcoming DLC, Paradox are being quite careful about changing mechanics. What is Mindboy doing? Mindboy is probably doing Mindboy things. I don't know that there is very much that they can do. Osgaram, that's over here. So, it looks like Mindboy is trying to come in through the back of the continent. Along here, and then back into Osgaram. Is that a different colonial region? That is. So they probably have an agreement not to go into colonial Soruin. And obviously they have some kind of agreement with Eberthil as well, to not go after the Eberthil territories because they could, without calling the homeland in. But Eberthil has a much larger colonial power, and they're also one of the major naval powers. Although, as we saw last time, we did. Oh, they've lost it. We had a naval hegemon. And they lost their hegemony because they're not in the top great powers anymore. Oh no, Jordland! Disaster! Could use the condottieri participation need power. Oh, that's true, yeah. That's very true. You know what? I think that's going to be another thing I'm going to make a note of.